So, okay, there's Iron Man, Iron Man 2, which was, I think we can all say, as compared to the first one. What was your approach to bringing Iron Man back to where it came, or are you taking it in a totally different direction, or taking it somewhere new?
Well, we decided that the villain was going to be the Melter. And so, no, I'm kidding.
Wow, everybody went,
I use him in jokes.
Or Blizzard, yeah, those guys.
Exactly.
Iron Man that's the problem, isn't it? Iron Man never had really great villains.
It's true.
Yeah, in the Mandarin, you know, whatever. No one wants to do a prototypical, you know, Chinese sadist as a villain. That's gonna draw down cries of racism, but nothing else will. So we had to cast about and really look for and find a villain that worked, and I think we did. And I think we did. I'm not supposed to talk about it because what's the point in knowing that anyway? Why boo, I disappointed you. You're going to go see this and you're going to be surprised, and it's going to be a better experience. Do you want to know? Do you want to know when you're going to die?
No.
No. Just wait, you'll die.
It'll happen.
But, okay, but you can't tell us that. Can you tell us how it's going to be different, like bringing the Shane Blac to Iron Man? So, because in the second movie they said, well, we don't really want to do the villain in the bottle kind of thing. And then they sort of did, but sort of didn't.
Yeah. The second movie made a lot of half choices. They said, well, we don't want to do Demon in the Bottle. You can't have a drinking problem, for Christ's sake. This is a children's movie. And you can't sell a toy with him in the bottle. Which I would buy, but I would buy.
Yes, I think we don't buy it.
Yes.
But so they had him get drunk,
Right.
and act like an asshole. But that was just because he was dying.
Right. Sort of.
Sort of. So, you know, the biggest criticism, I think, with the proactiveness of the character in the second movie, which basically, if you chart his progress through that film, what happens? He finds out he's dying. After he goes to Monte Carlo and crashes a car, he goes home, sits around, gets drunk, eats some donuts, watches movies, looks around some, and at the end shows up. So, you know, the middle of the movie is basically Tony Stark eating donuts and sitting around his house.
Hanging out, drinking beer, going to parties.
Yeah, so...
And the villain's kind of inactive through the movie.
Yeah, the idea of a strong central sense of stakes and urgency, and this is where I believe that high stakes to me and edge, the sense of real edgy storytelling is very important. You have to make bold, strong choices. I love the feeling in the best films that the film isn't just tentatively put in place, like, oh, is this going to be okay? You know, no, it's like poof, slapped like a old, wet piece of film across a wall, and there's your fucking film, you know. Now watch it. And that's kind of the approach that I favor, is just to make real bold, strong choices that the audience has no choice but to say, oh, well, okay, I wouldn't have expected that. And also setups and payoffs, which I just love. Setups and payoffs, the best of which you can hope for is at the end of the movie, something comes together and the audience says, oh, right, of course, that was there all along. I should have seen that. They set that up back here. Oh my God, that's been in front of me the whole time. Why didn't I notice that? That's the kind of thing I love. So, to try to structure this thing to have a headlong pace, really fill it with reversals and setups and payoffs. You guys know what reversals are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, shut up, who knows? You sir, I'd call it a hat, but...
The man in the hat.
The reversal is, in a movie is what?
I would say in like Pulp Fiction, where the plot goes in the direction you didn't expect and the dynamics of the characters shift dramatically.
Yeah, something that shifts the perception of either the character's viewpoint so that you go, oh my God, I just realized he does love her. And then it changes what informs the movie. Or it can be an actual physical twist or turn, like, oh my God, he's got a gun in his sleeve, you know. Or the best kind of reversals to me, well, I'll give you action movie reversals. In action movies, it's all about reversing things. And the best example of action movie reversals that I've ever seen just because it sort of spells it out. It comes from a show, old show called Hee Haw. And on Hee Haw, they used to have these two guys who would just stand and it's like straw in their mouth, and they would tell jokes while little pigs danced along the bottom of the screen. It was always on in our house. It was always on. And so one day I'm sitting at the table and I heard these guys, the guys said, "Oh, you know, my buddy, he fell out of a plane the other day." The guy says, "Oh, well, that's terrible, that's bad." He said, "Well, no, actually, that's okay, that's good, because he had a parachute on." He said, "Oh, well, that's good." He said, "Well, no, that's bad, because the chute didn't open." So, "Oh my God, that's bad." He said, "Well, no, that's good because they had a reserve chute." "Oh, well, that's good." "No, that's bad because that chute had a rip in it." "Oh, no, that's bad." "No, that's good because as he's falling, he looks down, there's a haystack underneath him." He said, "Well, that's good." "No, that's bad because sticking up from the haystack, there's a pitchfork with the tines, just sort of like this." "Oh, that's bad." "No, that's okay because he missed the pitchfork." "Oh, that's good." "No, that's bad, he missed the haystack." So if you see the that's reversal in an action movie. You know, he's got the gun, but it's empty, but then there's another gun, but he can't get to it. But he can get to it. "Oh, but this guy's on it by now. That's okay, but that's all right because he punches him." You know, it's that sort of back and forth. Lucas used it all the time in the first 3 Star Wars movies. The second 3, there weren't so many reversals. And I think a lot of it, the failure of those movies is the structure of the Kasdan scripts that he was using were filled with reversals. Like, "I've got the gun, but I'm blind." "Well, I'll tell you what to do, but I can't hold on to you." "That's okay because this is that, but it's too late. Now the gun won't work." You know, it's all those things. So yeah, setups and payoffs, reversals, high stakes, urgency, edge, and passion. Because people are trying these days to construct perfectly running watches, and the name of those watches is a movie that kids and adults and everybody loves and pays money to see. And they're trying so hard to build the perfect watch, and they've got so many cooks in that kitchen trying to put that watch together that what invariably results is something that's bland.
So let's talk about maybe directorial approach. Do you prefer to shoot more, because this is a much bigger scope of a film than you've done. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was great, all practical, all on location. Iron Man, I assume, will be shot a lot on green screen stages. I mean, how do you feel about that? The difference between shooting practical and shooting on green screens?
You know, it's the thing on shooting green screen, I don't mind it. It's just you have to know beforehand what it's going to look like. And there's a lot more storyboarding involved. The difference is, it's better than it used to be. It used to be, you would have a character and he could only walk to here because if he walked over the mat line, his head would vanish into the building. Now you've just got these giant green screens. The biggest problem with the green screen, to me, is with actors. People say that James Franco's performance in the last Apes film was sort of flat. And I think the reason is that half the time he was in front of a green screen. And it's hard as an actor to show up for work and go, you know, "Where's my set?" And they say, "Well, there ain't any." But just picture a jungle metropolis. You know, and it's hard to gather that sort of emotion. Although actors used to do it all the time. Shakespearean plays. I love the Tinker Toy approach. I love a set. You know, I love building a giant set. I love going in after work and I pretend I'm looking at the set. Really, I'm just playing.
You're just hanging out. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Exactly. I read some books and go, "Oh, wow, that's cool." You know, turn on the gimbal.
So, sorry, are you going to try to do more of that than just shooting the green screen? Is that your choice?
I want it to feel real. I want it to feel absolutely photoreal. Anyone see Captain America?
Yeah.
I thought the end looked like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And by the time I saw Tommy Lee Jones driving a hydromobile, when they have perfectly good Nazis to use, I thought, what the fuck, what movie am I watching, you know? So, the things I love about Captain America is that they got Skinny Steve to look photoreal. But by the end, the whole planes and cars and things, you know, it was, every shot was an effect, and I think that you feel it. I think you feel a sort of checkout factor. You sort of go, I'm not as invested in this. I don't really care quite as much, because everything I'm looking at is, to one extent or another, a lie.
It doesn't feel real or organic, or it doesn't feel dangerous. We don't feel like our characters are in danger.
Right.
That's tense.
And here's the other thing. Look at movies again and see if this isn't true. The first time people commented on CGI, aside from Jurassic Park, was in Apollo 13. It was the shot of the rocket taking off. And the way they sold it was they had the camera doing this. And it was kind of blurry, and there was heat shimmer, and you thought, okay, that's where a camera would be. And so that's why that worked. Similarly, in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, remember that one? Mm-hmm. He runs out at one point onto a cliff, and he looks up and he looks down, and there's 1,000 feet up and 1,000 feet down, and he's in the middle of nowhere. And you see him tiny in the middle of the frame, and you see that big expanse. And what happens? The camera's doing this. Yeah. You go, why? It's a special effects shot. They should just lock up. They don't have to. They know that in your mind you're expecting the helicopter shift. So to sell it as photo real, they even give the special effect a shift. So you think, oh, that's from a helicopter. That must be real. You know what I mean? They understand the mind's unconscious perceptions of what it considers to be real in movies versus what looks like an effect. So if you put a camera in a movie where it couldn't possibly be, like if Batman's falling, and suddenly you're falling with him, and then you come around and then you come down underneath him, and here he goes, and now you're in through the window and out. You know, no camera can do that. So you know it's an effect, you know it's fake. And
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
That's just Michael Bay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
I think at least David Fincher hangs a lantern on it. If he takes the camera through the the handle of a coffee cup, you know, he makes a point of saying, that's bullshit, but isn't it cool? And as much as I love Sam Raimi's work, when you're with Spider-Man and the camera's just doing this with him, it just looks like a video game, because video games put cameras where they can't possibly actually be in real life. You can't actually run behind someone while they swing from buildings and jump into cars and go inside buildings. The camera can't do that. So to make it feel like photoreal, look back at the action sequences and car chases and things like that that you love, and then think, what can we do to enhance that? Not obliterate it, but enhance it. The best stuff for CGI, I saw the original Mulholland Drive before it was a movie, it was a TV pilot. And there's a car crash in the beginning. Looked like nothing. In the movie, it's a bigger car crash. And it looks great. I said, what, they went out and filmed a new car crash? No, it's the same one, but they enhanced it with CGI. And I said, okay, that makes sense. That's the trick then. You don't get rid of CGI, but you don't use it exclusively. You use real footage and enhance it, rather than just relying entirely on a created image. The best use, again, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
The dinosaur goes roar in the window of the car, and they scream, and then it pulls its head out and walks away. You see it walk away through the windshield. Well, the head's a prosthetic, it's actually real, and then walking away is CGI. They combine the two. And I think that's the trick, is to try to get a combination, a handoff point between reality and CGI. And as a director, the task is to know, where is that handoff? If you're going to blow up a building, how much do you need to shoot to make it feel real, and how much can you then hand off and create with CGI? And you can literally do anything with CGI. What you can't do is fool an audience that's expecting reality. Because if you do too much jumping around with that camera, with that CGI created camera, people will, I think they'll check out. But I don't, what do I know? People go to see these Transformers movies like they're the last things they have to see.